All right, we should be live. Hey everybody,
Hi.
we're
Hi,
back.
team.
It's Sunday, and it's time for Sunday Update with the crew.
Are you ready for it?
For the first time in 35 days, I made a graphic. So
Whoa,
it's
there's a graphic.
5 sessions. We went 4 sessions without a graphic, but now we have a picture. As a brief recap of what we've been doing.
This is very exciting. This is the first time that we're actually like in totally different games.
Yeah.
Like, really
Yes.
different like regions. Well, no, I hate to say regions because we're in the same region, but totally different like starting points.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe? I don't know, because I missed your
Yeah.
stream. So I need to learn more about how White 2 works.
So Black 2 and White 2, well, you'll find out when you play Black 2 Cam. Is it takes place 2 years after the events of Black and White. So if you're watching my stream at any point in time and there's any references to Team Plasma, you're gonna see spoilers about like what happened,
Ooh.
which it's a Pokemon game, the bad guy's always gonna lose. But a matter
What?
of how, we're kind of slowly unfolding it. I start in a totally different city. And the gym leaders are a little bit different. Bianca is a Pokemon Lab assistant now instead of like a girl you grew up with. Charon is actually the first gym leader I took on because he became a gym leader in Black 2 and White 2. It's very cute, very different.
Wow,
Karen, he knows so much about Pokemons.
He's a nerd.
such a nerd.
What a nerd.
Is Bianca also a gym leader?
No, she's a Pokemon Lab assistant.
Okay, that
Just
sort
kinda
of makes me feel
hangs-
better.
Makes you
Yeah.
feel better after calling her a horse girl.
No, she is a horse girl, but if she were a gym leader, I would be like, the standard for gym leader is just like through the floor. Because, yeah, she's a
Or
little
Bianca.
bumbling,
Flirty, as you called her.
Flirty.
flirty.
Flirty,
Flirty.
not flighty, but flirty.
No, she's flirty. What are you talking about?
She's flirty. She's flirty. Yeah. Yeah, so how the game's been going so far?
They're very exciting. They're wonderful.
So-
Cam, did you want to go?
Yeah, Cam should go.
Yeah. Oh, do we want to start with bad?
Yeah.
I'm just frustrated because I went into the Berg gym with a water type and a ground type. So it
What
was
is
not
the wait? What is the bird gym?
bug gym.
I don't like
Yeah.
the sound of that.
Grass.
Grass. Oh, you went.
I was
with
like,
a
oh,
water
it's a
type
bug?
and a
Oh, I'll
ground.
rip through this, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Put my water type out first. Boom, leech seeded. Boom, mega drained. Boom, dead. I was like,
Yeah.
alright. So I
Yeah.
stopped. Now I'm leveling up Scraggy. I'm a fool. So that I have a fighting dark type that will be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
I mean,
Oh.
so this is a much less severe instance, but I was at the first gym, and I was getting pounded by that lineup.
Lillipup's bite?
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
that?
That's rude. Yeah.
Like
That
what?
was ridiculous.
Yeah, so and also when I put out the I put out the Purloin, and I was like, okay, we'll just growl to drop its attack, so that when he does go in and start biting like crazy on everybody on my team, like it won't just instantly KO everybody on my team. But then he just started using work up.
Yeah.
So every time I would lower his attack, he would raise all his stats. I was like,
Work
well, that
Up's the
sucks.
worst. It was really bad.
So I wound up changing my strategy to just only using damage dealing moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a good strategy.
Yep.
It tends to work. I've like changed my tune a little bit this week. I did a lot of leering in the gyms and against a lot of the trainers. Between both Taylor, my Sirmina, and Becky, my P-Dove, who became a Tranquil today. I really made use of like the stat modifiers to be able to like land hits appropriately.
Yeah.
Whenever it came to like non-super effective moves, I was like, I need to just do something. Yeah.
The one thing I will say about like moves like Growl, and I know this applies to Growl. I'm not sure how many of the other like status effect moves that it applies to.
Mm-hmm.
But in a double battle, when you Growl, it will hit both of the opposing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which sometimes
nice.
is more beneficial than damage on one.
It would do that in the previous gen too.
Yeah, but I don't Growl a whole lot, so I didn't notice that.
That's okay.
And now I'm re-aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have noticed, and I feel like my experience with the first gym is my evidence for this, but also some of the trainers that I've run to along the way. The difficulty on this game seems to have stepped up like a severe notch.
Well, I can't really speak because White 2 is different from Black and White. That's more of you guys' conversation. Cam, do you concur?
I think that, in my opinion, the first gym, they kind of handed it to you. At least I feel like they handed it to me because they were like, here's Pansear. Now go fight that grass type. Like, okay.
Because did you go over to the Dreamlands and get...
You had to.
But do you have to get Pansear?
Well, they give you the type that's strong against the type that you're weak against.
Right.
Does that make sense?
And
so,
you
like,
just have to talk to that girl, right? Or
yeah.
whoever it is. Yeah.
So, like, I feel like the first gym was kind of like, here's how typing works again. And then you start fighting Team Plasma, and it's like, my Patrat knows Bide. Boom, KO, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, the Bide, the Patrats that know Bide are like minefields. Because I've definitely encountered a lot of biding chipmunks very early on in this game, and I'm like, what? Because it used to be that's like, isn't that like an Onyx classic move, like the bide, bam?
I think of Metatites.
Fair,
personally.
also true. Except Metatite always used Detect against me.
Yeah, that's also like...
What does Detect and Odor Sleuth actually do?
Detect is the one that if it succeeds, you avoid damage that round, right?
It's like Protect, yes.
Yeah.
And Odor Sleuth,
yeah.
What it does is that if you are if you're a ghost type, it makes you vulnerable to fighting moves. Like, and by vulnerable, I mean like fighting moves can now hit you if Odor Sleuth has been used on you as a ghost type.
And why do Lillipups always use it on me?
Or maybe it's ghost types can be hit by normal types, not fighting. Sorry.
Oh, so it just leads off of that because it's the code. Like, oh, I'm a normal type, I'll hit you. Like,
I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
But a lot of Pokemon with that are normal types or have normal type moves in their moveset are gonna have some kind of like Odor Sleuth or Foresight or something like that.
Yeah. I think I didn't keep Odor Sleuth, which I think Tepig knows, because what's the point on a fire type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because if he's going to pick up fighting moves.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It could be that, yeah.
But I'm going to avoid that because I don't like fighting types.
you do have fighting types.
I think you misheard me. What I said was I don't like fighting types. Or
Oh,
fighting moves.
got it.
I'm happiest with my dog. And I would like to level up my dog. Lillipup.
Into a herdier.
I like my dog too.
Herdier.
What?
But it's
She's leveled up. My dog is leveled up and also curled up.
it's so interesting this gen to not have any restrictions.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like,
I have a team of 6.
yeah,
This never
Yeah,
happens. I never do this.
I've like self-imposed it on myself because I realized very early in my stream the other day that we've got more than just Gen 5 Pokemon in Black 2 and White 2. So I have like given myself like a gen lock that I didn't realize I was going to get myself until I started the game, basically.
Right.
But
you were talking about this with us the other day where you're going to restrict yourself to Gen 5, even though Black 2, White 2 technically have more than that.
Yeah. I really want to get invested in the Gen 5, man.
I've just been having fun, like, going around and just catching stuff. Like, find stuff, catch it. It has wound me up with, like, mostly vermin on my team, but...
So it happened from the beginning, it's okay.
But I have Roggenrola, so that's cool.
It's pretty baller that you've got a Roggenrola at this point. And then also, like, Cam, you got a Drillbur.
I went back specifically to find the Drillbur in the cave and dropped Roggenrola for it.
What does Drillbur evolves into Excalibur?
Exadrill.
Excadrill.
What's Did I make up a Pokemon?
You kind of confused it with Excalibur.
Oh yeah, which we kept fighting yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excadrill Ground Steel. So that'll be nice.
Cool. That's great.
Mm-hmm. It's the mole version of Steelix, basically.
Yeah.
Better, right? Higher attack, lower defense.
Better. I mean, honestly, Steelix's stats are not well distributed.
You hit it with like a surf and it's KO'd. It's gone. It has no special.
Correct. And you can't use a lot of its best moves do no damage because you have no special attack. You have a little bit of physical attack and you have a ton of physical defense and you have nothing else.
Yeah. All it is a fast tank and that's about it.
You can try to flash cannon all you want. It's not going to kill anyone.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. Did anybody else have to fight these like extremely good preschoolers? Why are the preschoolers so good at Pokemon?
I didn't have to fight like really good preschoolers. I did fight preschoolers the other day. I did run into a woman who had a Dunsparce that KO'd my whole team with rollout the other day.
Right.
With the she was in the same route as the other preschoolers, and I was really pissed about it. So I went back and beat her ass today with my over-leveled team.
I feel like I remember that. You're like, Dunsparce used... Hey, roll out. With a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was bad.
I realized while I was fighting through the preschoolers that you can go down the slide in the playground.
It's
you
cute.
Can walk down the slide in the playground.
Yeah, but come on, give them some credit. You can go up and down the slide. It's cool.
It's true. The 3D-ness of this gen is
saw you walking
off
around
the
some
hook.
Circle City thing. What was it with
Castelia?
That was cool.
Yeah. So like,
Is cool.
but even getting there, they kind of like ramp you up into it a little bit because you have to cross the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And just like walking out of the tunnel, and then you turn and you're walking around the bridge entryway, and then you get to the bridge and it like lifts you up, and then the angle looks down over the bridge, and then it shows you the skyline of the city, and then you walk into it, and then you start going around like in the semicircle. I was like, this is intense.
Yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
then in White 2, I enter Castelia via boat because I start on the western side of the map, and after I beat the second gym in Verbank, I have to take a boat to the Castelia port. And so you see the scene on the boat where you're approaching the city. Same thing is you're getting the skyline like revealed to you as you're taking the boat over to the port.
Yeah, they've really done a number with.
It's really cool.
Done a number's a negative term. I feel like they've really done a really good job. Really.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this reminds me because I was talking to Cam last night about things that they've changed in what gen are we on? Gen 5. And I I said I really liked that they brought the town map back.
Right.
Sure.
Did everyone know that there was a town map in Gen 4 and
I used it like all the time.
Always had
I
it
just
going.
I didn't know how to get to it. I'm the only one.
It was in your bag.
It's since it's no longer a tab like map
That
like it was
confused
in
me.
like Gen 1.
That confused me deeply. I didn't access the town map until I flew for the first time.
It's a whole bit at the beginning where they give you a map and you have to go give it to your rival.
I don't pay attention to that. It's
You need to pay attention to the plot, Peter.
Why it's called plot.
I think that night was the night that I was running back and forth between two computers trying to make sure we could all stream the game out at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple things got lost in the woodwork. And I probably picked up the town map like 8 times because we had to play through the beginning of that game so many times. But, yeah,
okay.
no, never. I had a Chrome tab open like the entire time I played through Gen 4 with the Sinnoh map up. Because I didn't know where anything was because I never knew how to open the map up. And then when I had my birdie on my team, I was like, this is awesome because now I can just see where everything is.
Can't think of any Pokemon game that doesn't have a map in it.
Well, until
Do you know there'd be a
recently,
riot?
I would have told you Pokemon Pearl.
There would have been a riot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, who needs a map when you can speedrun the game? You just know where to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Just hop aboard the Gen 4 railroad and...
I feel like we're putting in some good speedrun records, like 40 hours, 45, 50.
I feel confident that those must be
God.
among the best speedrun times for all
Yeah.
of Pokemon. I was watching, like, not to go off topic, but I was watching some guy, and Cam was there actually. We were watching some guy do Legend of Zelda speedrun tactics,
Oh, boy.
and the things that these people come up with,
Mm-hmm.
like, honestly make me sick.
It's like, if I action roll just right, I can enter the shrine without having to activate it, and it saves me those 2 seconds, which will be crucial in the
Oh
last
my
battle.
God.
And I'm like, you can hit A.
Well, there's some stupid thing you can do with a pot lid where if you, like, land on an enemy's head while drawing an arrow, you can, like, fly off into space or whatever. It's just, I don't... This is... I actually saw a video, like, a couple weeks ago on the... I think it's lowest percent completion runs. Has anyone heard of this?
Lowest
No,
percent
it's
completion.
amazing.
So you speedrun a game while completing the least percentage of the game possible.
Oh. Okay.
So the times are crazy high. They're like whereas I think this was Legend of Zelda, like I don't remember which one. But the I think the speedrun times for like high percentage or any percentage are like a couple hours, and this one is like 17 hours or something. But
Percentage.
somebody had left their console on overnight when they had picked up a rupee as their last thing that they did. And they realized that when Link picks up a rupee in that game, he moves backwards like a centimeter every cycle, and nothing can stop him. So these people would kill enemies in specific locations and then turn in a specific direction and pick up the rupee in order to move backwards through like walls and doors that they shouldn't have been able to open yet and other stuff, so that without completing these huge chunks of the game, they could get to the other side of this obstacle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love
dungeons.
speedrunners.
It's like finding a way to phase through the tree without having to cut it.
They're like their own world, and it's amazing the kinds of stuff that they figure out, come up with.
Yeah.
Like
wild.
even the people who speedrun like Red and Blue, and then of course like the rest of the generations, like a lot of it also has to do with like manipulation of like the RNG and like things like that, because it's just like, well, I have to like do a certain thing to be able to manipulate whether I'm going to catch this on the first try or whether I'm going to land a crit on the first try, or like, you know, or there's like a glitch that allows for like the text to always be at the fastest speed and load instantly, and I have to be able to exploit that and blah 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 to speed up my run. It's just
yeah,
amazing the stuff that they end up figuring out, you know.
That reminds me of the redlining tactic in Gen 1, where if your team was in redline, the battles would go through like 10% faster or something.
You call it redlining.
What is it?
It is red bar.
Red bar. Sorry. Okay.
Redlining, you are thinking of when like you're editing something in a document, you're tracking the changes, and it's like redline is when it's like striking and replacing something.
I can
you're able
promise
to see the
you
previous
that I'm
version
not thinking of that, but
An industry term for that though. It's called bleeding on the page.
That's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
Hand someone a document and they turn it back and they bled all over it because the whole thing is just red, and you're like,
I'm gonna start calling it that.
My cohort calls it optional editing.
Optional editing.
isn't that all editing really?
Yeah. But yeah, red bar. I do appreciate. Now I'm gonna start calling it red bar and not redlining, because I've been saying redlining for this last week of streams. What?
You're redlining?
Like when my team gets low on health. Apparently it's called red bar. Not redlining.
Isn't redlining like a racist, like...
Critical health.
Apparently
Yes.
redlining is also a racist redistricting thing in cities. I think that's true. Yeah. Yeah, so I
Isn't there
should
also,
definitely
like-
stop saying that on stream.
Pushing your speedometer into the red. Is that redlining?
Maybe, I don't know. It seems to describe a lot of things. I feel like anytime there's a color red and a line, people are probably going to come up with the term redlining eventually. But red bar, I do appreciate that they've turned down the sound for red bar in Gen 5. God bless, because that was driving me insane in Gen 4 at the end.
Yeah. The red bar stuff is
And it's so much more laid back. Like, it's so much quieter in Gen 5.
Also,
And-
battling in general is just faster.
Is it?
Yeah.
The menu is really bouncy. Like, it's super fast to pick moves and stuff. Is that what you're talking about, or no?
No, the health.
overall.
The health, it just chunks. It doesn't.
Ah, yep.
Sirmina, you sent us the graphic.
So, yeah,
It's like
the
a
little
TikTok.
video.
It was like in Gen 4, waiting for the health bar to drop, and the guy's just like.
And it's like Luigi sitting on a bed with like his book open, because it's like, well, I'm gonna be sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for my Blissy's health to go down. You know?
Yeah.
Because does
So-
it scale off the amount of health that the Pokemon had, like the speed at which it drops in Gen 4?
A
little bit?
kind of like
Kind
at like
It's just
not so
slow.
much like the higher levels, like no matter what, no matter how much damage it's supposed to do relative to the health bar, and also like how much health it has, like it still went down at the same slowness. So you're just sitting there like, I don't know if this move actually is going to KO this Pokemon or not, because it's moving at the same rate as like something else that I have KO'd with this move or with this effectiveness or whatever.
The
You
health
just
bar
sit there.
moves halfway to the end point every 10 seconds.
It's awful. I honestly truly believe that the reason it took us to get through Gen 4 in like 40, 50, ridiculous, way more time to get through Gen 4 is simply because of how slow the battles are.
I mean, honestly, I believe it because by the end of Gen 4, I was sick of battles. I would, like, I was so irritated when people would look me in the eyes.
I'm always irritated when people look me in the eye.
I mean, yeah, true, but in a different, more irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah, even climbing Mount Coronet and just all of the galactic grunts that are like, we're here to slow you down. It's like, please.
Dude, shut up, please.
You're
Just
doing a
let me-
damn good job because it's going to take forever to beat you.
Yeah. I think that entire plot point after I defeated Candace and went through the Mount Coronet story, it was a 2.5-hour stream of just getting through Galactic and that whole going to the lakes, going to Coronet, fighting them. And we didn't even have the distortion world in Diamond and Pearl. It was literally just everything else. If we had distortion world, it would have been another hour.
Yeah.
Like that just took so freaking long. You know?
There is
on the lakes.
I noticed this over the last week. Oh my god, the lakes. Not a fan of that. I should have had a bird. That's the that would have been the solution there. Just HM fly. Although, do you have fly yet at that point?
Yeah.
You do.
I had caught one of the bird types that was around, and I literally would go into the Poke Center, switch out a Pokemon, fly, and then switch them back in.
Yeah.
Because that was way better than just walking.
The lakes were the most egregious Gen 4 railroad of them all. And it of course you get to the lake and it's just like, okay, fight these people, and then like, oh look, the lake exploded. Alright, go to the next lake. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Cam pointed out that the 3 legendaries of the lakes have more of a role in Platinum, whereas in Pearl it's kind of just like, oh yeah, also
They
these
exist.
3 Pokemon.
Yeah, when we were raiding yesterday, we caught Azelf and Mesprit in,
Nice.
what are they, Dynamic Adventure raids?
Dynamax Adventures.
Dynamax Adventure, to bring it back
And the
to
Crown
Noah, and
Tundra.
you guys caught Mewtwo. We caught Azelf and Mesprit, and Peter was like, what are these? Like, they're the Lake Trio. So he was like...
But like, honestly, I mean, other than Uxie, right? Who's the other one? Who's
Uxie.
Uxie. Whose name is distinctive enough that I remembered it.
I got
those Pokemon just went in one ear and out the other because I was like, they have no. I think they like stop Palkia for a second or something.
Palkia.
Say Polkia?
Yeah.
No, I
What the
meant
fuck
to
did
say
you
Palkia. By the way, fun fact: there's a Smash map from Gen 4 where either Dialga, Palkia, or Crescina. Is that another one?
Cresselia.
Okay, Cresselia. One of those will appear on the throne at the middle of the map, and we'll do
the Spear Pillar map.
We'll do weird things to the map based on what they are. Yeah.
I'm so glad you got into Smash because now you can appreciate the Pokemon maps.
It actually, yes.
The Pokemon music that they pull in, the Zelda music and maps that they pull in, like great stuff, dude.
I mean, Cam and I were just talking about VPP being a good tool for understanding more, appreciating Gen 8 and Smash. And Pogo, honestly.
Yeah, my view of Pokemon Go now, after having played through 4 of the games and like watching it all, and just like, it's similar, but like Pokemon Go is such a different game than like actual Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like the whole tapping and battle mechanic is just so different from like you have 4 moves and it's turn based. But like even doing the raids yesterday and being like, oh, there's 4 moves and like status effects actually kind of do matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just understanding Shield now more 5 months after having like stopped playing to
Yeah.
pick up VPP, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like I actually have a feeling like I know what I'm doing now. I'm not just like I'm gonna run around and do anything. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, this is like how to do it.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta go like dig out my copy of Pokemon Black, and I gotta figure out what my team was and like share it.
Definitely.
I remember I
actually-
had a Sandile for sure.
You have
After
a
the
Timber
route.
on your team now?
Yes.
You
Okay,
can get Timber in Pinwheel Forest, right?
Huh?
Oh, you're
no,
not.
no,
you're
no.
not
We come from different parts. Like you guys
Right,
come in
yeah.
from the east, I come in from the west. So I stumbled upon this timber when I went into the sewers under Castelia as part of the plot to stop these plasma grunts.
Sure.
And I explored a little deeper back in the sewers, and I got to some relic passage or something, which I have yet to actually thoroughly explore because I almost got wiped out by one single Grimer this afternoon. I don't want to talk about it. It was some dorky scientist who had a Grimer, and his minimize ended up making it so that every single move of mine missed. So Sirmina went down very quickly. Tranquil got, KO'd like very quickly with Sludge, and just the Audino was like useless. And I didn't have Timber yet. So it was just a lot. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna walk around a little bit, see what I can find, and then get out of here without facing any more trainers. And then I found the Timber. And it was a lady Timber, so of course I named her Kesha.
Nice.
Which I bet until just now in the chat.
That's why y'all are going off with the Timber lyrics in
Yes.
the chat. Yes.
Yes.
It was also a fun play on Taylor, and that all of your team would just be female pop stars.
You would think it would have been great if that were the plan, but I mean, nah, I'm like attached to the names at this point.
Yeah.
That's
What,
a
is that
thing.
an Arduino?
Audino.
Arduino? Sorry, it's
Mhm.
I had too many friends in college who would talk about Arduino all the time. So every time I see the word Audino, I think Arduino.
It's really cute. It's like this generation's Chansey
Okay.
without an evolution.
Mm.
And I say that because, like, in the route around Verbank, because I did a little bit of like leveling off stream before this afternoon's stream, or off stream work, whatever it was.
We're allowed to level off stream.
A little bit.
Yes.
So I went to train up, and like all the Pokemon are like level 12-ish. They give you like 80 experience, 100 experience, whatever it is, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then this Audino pops in. It's from the grass that shakes a little bit to be like, hey, there's a special Pokemon here.
Ooh.
Gives you 700 experience at level 12. So
What?
yeah, so I caught one because I was like, I need another Gen 5 Pokemon. And then I went and fought one and like just watched my experience bar just run and run and run and almost went up 2 levels as a result of it. It was
Jeez.
ridiculous. Just from one Audino.
I have a question.
Yes.
How does experience work in this gen? Because
This is a great question.
there
I
are
think you-
differences.
Are you thinking of how like lower level Pokemon get much more experience
Mhm.
per
Yeah.
battle?
Is that
Yeah.
This is where it
is that what's
starts.
going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then it scales back a little bit.
So basically lower level Pokemon are just getting more exp.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Interesting. Okay. Because I was trying to figure that out the other day when my 2 Pokemon were getting different amounts of exp from the same battle. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Mhm. That's why Cupid like leveled up like nobody's business. I named my Audino Cupid
Nice.
because he's very, very cute.
Yeah, I think I took advantage of that with my Purloin, who I named Cat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, that's where the mechanic starts, is this generation.
Just so you guys know, I almost named the Purloin Skitty.
I hate you so
I named
much.
my pet rat Rattata.
I know, I hate it.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I named the first pet rat Rattata, and I named the second one that I caught Sentry.
I
Are you
named
just gonna
my-
name all of them Gen
No.
1 through 3?
No, because I already know what my final team's gonna be.
I named my pet rat Woodchucky.
Yeah.
And my lily pup is named...
Lily Pad or something like that, right?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it had Lily in the name.
You know, I have to check.
I named my rock and roll Petra before I deposited in the computer.
Yeah, that's clutch.
See it again.
Nice.
It's a great
Yeah,
one.
Petra carried through Lenora. It's Jim.
Cam, are you just not wasting exp on Pokemon you don't need? I mean, fair.
So, gonna have Samurott, I'm gonna have Excadrill. I just caught Scraggy, so I'll have Scrafty. And then the other three, I already know what they're gonna be. And I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Okay. Fine.
I'm going in blind. I don't know who I want. I will say, having a Timber,
Yeah.
pretty nice.
This is not going to be my final team because
I hope not.
there's a Pat Rat on it.
You're not gonna. What's Pat Rat's evolution?
Watchog?
What? Yeah.
No.
You could.
Little meerkat looking fella.
Honestly, I'm thinking of sticking... I like the dog. Might keep the dog.
Lillipup.
Yeah.
To herd.
Because it does get 2 evolutions. Unless you can't get to the second one because there's some stupid thing.
You can.
Good.
It's Stoutland.
Stoutland. I have a Stoutland on Pokemon Go, and he's awesome. He doesn't do anything. He's terrible in battle, but he's awesome. It's like 1800 CP, you know?
Most normal types, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you have a... well, he's a normal type, so if you have nothing that you need out of the way, then he's your man. And if there's any opposing Pokemon, then you're in trouble. No, he cannot bite. I'm pretty sure he has, like... Actually,
Odor.
I'm gonna go check his moveset. Yeah, he knows fucking Odor Sleuth on Pokemon Go.
Oh, Go. I thought you meant in, like, actual.
No, in
In what?
You
this...
can definitely bite.
In this one, I know he has bite.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably also got some other moves.
Just put out Cat and use Assist.
No. Ooh, did I forget Assist?
Assist is a crapshoot.
Yeah, I think I forgot it because, you know,
It's fine.
randomness is bad.
Now, here's the other thing. It's not like pure randomness, the way that Metronome is. It is a limited set of randomness.
Yeah. Right, because
So if
it's...
it sucks, then Assist is going to suck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just double-checked this on my Pogo. My Stoutland actually has a CP of 2533.
IV.
Good.
He knows Lick and Crunch.
Great.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's its IV?
Middling. Aggressively middling.
Like 10, 10, 10.
Looks like 12, 12, 6. So,
Aggressive middle.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of Pogo, and I've been remembering to remind myself since I asked you to remind me last night.
Yes.
So
Because you said seconds after asking me to remind you, I'm hoping that this will remind me.
And then I never forgot it.
Good.
I've been thinking about it like on and off throughout the day. I'm like, I say this. So, on Facebook, there's a Pokemon Go International Raid group that has like thousands of members in it, and they're like friend us for raids all around the world so you can get regionals. It's like, oh, cool. Invite me to some raids in, like, Japan, and I'll get some of those. Someone in the group was like, they apparently, like, just make email accounts and make Pokemon Go accounts to catch specific shinies, and then they sell the account to someone so that they can trade the shiny to their actual account.
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, we do not do this.
No, we don't. But I saw this on this Facebook group. It was like, I caught a shiny Rufflet, PayPal me like $500 and it's yours. And someone commented, they're like, this is literally Team Rocket.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, these are some
What the
Team
heck?
Rocket tactics.
Oh, man. Terrible.
I was like, yeah, listen. And I've been meaning to bring that up for like 1 or 2 weeks.
Why would people do such a thing? God, it's like they have to take everything and make it monetary. Like,
People really want shinies.
oh, it's very similar. It reminds me very, very much of the Animal Crossing villagers, because there are some villagers that are quote unquote more desirable than others, either for like the nature of the villager, whether
Top
they're
tier, low
cute
tier
or
villager.
sassy or sleepy or neutral or whatever. The aesthetic of the villager. There's like one very particular cat that has like heterochromia, and so like his eyes are different colors, and it's like the most sought after villager, and like people will sell like their amiibo codes or whatever so that you
Yep.
can get this villager. There's like an entire market for it.
That's
It's ridiculous.
The competitive community on Animal Crossing does not fuck around.
They do not fuck around at all.
sell you 1,000,000 turnips for all of your bells.
You can't sell turnips, but what you can do is you can at least use bells. People can sell fish if they're a crazy fish. They can send certain fruits, goods. Villagers is the biggest one. Stuff like that. man.
Selling villagers just sounds so bad.
This
I
all
know.
reminds me of the
Never played Animal Crossing.
gold selling in RuneScape.
Oh
Because
god.
that was rampant for years.
Selling?
Hmm?
Gold selling?
Yeah, people would exchange golden items for real world cash through like this intricate net of forums. And it continued and continued and continued, and then Jagex or Jagex or however you say their company name finally started selling account time for gold. So
Oh, like memberships and stuff?
Yes.
Mhm.
So you can now buy membership time for gold, which basically converts your gold into real world money that you can spend inside the
Yep.
game, and that basically killed most of the that like trade stuff.
And now they make the money that the black market.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I got my brother one of those, or two of those, or whatever it was a couple years ago. I was like, yeah, happy birthday. Purchase X amount of dollars
right?
worth of
Is that
membership.
right?
Go ahead.
Are they bonds? Or-
Something like things they can get sold as bonds, and you can like activate it if you have it in your
yeah,
possession or not. And otherwise, you can sell them if you don't,
yeah.
for tons and tons of gold, as it was
I
stated to
think
me.
yeah, it's like 28 million for a 2-week bond.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Odd.
yeah.
I think I have like 1,000,000 gold. Not even.
I think
Probably.
I have 11 million. I think I have 11 million.
I have no idea.
Got really into the
Haven't played it for months.
rune crafting. Sold a lot of arrowheads on the Grand Exchange.
Y'all need to talk to my brothers, because I've never set foot on even the website, except for in purchasing
Classic,
membership stuff.
like online RuneScape where it was laggy as hell.
FRS?
So you've never experienced the wonder of 32 people in one crowded space together with half of them typing buying GF over and over.
No, I have not. I've seen the memes, but I have not experienced it myself.
Fair
Guys,
enough.
how many level 99s do you have?
I don't
In
have
what?
any. I'm still working on my mining.
Oh, in RuneScape?
Yeah.
Because I started over, what, 2 years ago, Cam? Last year?
Last year.
Last year. And I think I'm up to like 85, 87 crafting, but I'm not there yet. I think I'm 79 mining. I'm getting there.
Very fascinating.
We've gotten off.
A little bit.
You said how many 99s have you gotten? And I was just like, I don't think any of us have gotten above level like 65 so far.
Unless you count a legendary that you caught at 70 or something.
Oh yeah, true.
Actually, Eternatus on Pokemon Sword became my first, maybe ever, level 100 Pokemon in any game. Like, yeah. I promptly replaced him on my team with the Steel Dragon that we caught.
Hiram.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
only of the 3 dragons from this generation that doesn't really get featured, right?
I think he's gonna get like mentioned somehow or other.
Who's that?
But-
Who's the guy on my cover?
That's Zekrom.
Who's
Yeah,
the
yours
guy
is
on your
Zekrom,
cover?
Cam's is Reshiram, and mine is like
Is that Hiram?
White Kyurem or something. It kind of looks like a hybrid of Reshiram and Kyurem. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know.
The fire's really throwing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it.
Spoilers for the end game.
Sorry.
I mean, it's just a Pokemon.
I do really appreciate that they've stuck with the colors as the game names in Pokemon throughout the years. And it really just, I hope they keep doing that. If they ever stop doing that, I'm going to be really sad.
Okay, so there are 2 forms of Kyurem that serve as the game mascots. Black Kyurem for Black 2 and White Kyurem for White 2.
So Hiram does get featured. It's just
Is Kyurem like the third Pokemon? You know how there's always like the 2 Pokemon and then the third one?
oh
Yeah.
Except for
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of like the third.
except that in Go he's terrible.
Oh, right.
It would have been like
Zekrom and Reshiram are way better.
Okay.
back when these games first came out, Black and White. Everyone was pushing and pushing and pushing for Pokemon Gray to feature Kyurem.
Pokemon Gray. I love it.
But you know what we never got was Gray, because this was the first generation, of course, where they said like, okay, that's it. We're stopping it at 2. We're not having a third one. So there were people convinced Gray was coming, and we all were, I think. And then suddenly they decided, oh, we're actually not going to do this, and we're like, what the fuck?
I demand Pokemon
Okay,
Gray.
cool, fine, whatever. But what the fuck?
They made Pokemon Gray.
Never did Gray.
We need Pokemon Gray, Pokemon
Z.
Z, Pokemon Mars, and Pokemon Gun.
Mars.
It should be Pokemon Stars, dude. The sun and the moon and the stars.
That's actually a good one.
Not Mars.
Not Mars. Yeah, why would it be Mars?
The sun, the moon, and Mars.
He had a character named Mars.
What? Is there a
Yeah, we don't
character
need
named
that.
Sun?
No, that's why it's okay for that to be a game.
Hmm.
Oh,
We had
a
Mars,
character
Jupiter, and
named
Saturn.
Mars. No, it would
Yeah, we
be
had
all
the
about
galactic-
Commander Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commander Mars. We don't need a Pokemon Mars. We already
Did
have
you
Mars.
have Mars,
utilized
Jupiter,
as a
and-
commander name. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys have 3 commanders or just 2?
Yeah, we had Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
For some
you had
reason,
somebody else.
I also had Sharon,
Yes, you did.
which he just kind of showed up like a handful of times, and that was it. And he was way creepier than anything else in that game.
Yeah, he was a lot.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
Cam,
Platinum had a lot.
I stand by Pokemon Gun for Gen 8.
Sword, shield, and gun.
Sword, shield, and gun. You know, there was a guy who actually got a newspaper to print his fake picture with Sword, Shield, and Gun as the 3 Pokemon games.
Oh my god.
No, Pokemon for now appears to be doubling down on its whole 2 games per generation thing with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Sad that they're not doing a Platinum remake.
Iridescent
They've never
Platinum.
done a remake of the 3rd. It's sad, but
Well,
They should. Yellow?
Pokemon Yellow.
Doesn't count.
Kind
Let's
of
go
counts.
Pikachu doesn't count. Let's go Pikachu does not fucking count.
Is that what that is?
It's supposed
Same
to
with
be. That's what
Eevee.
that's what they claim it is. That's what they claim it is. I have not played it.
Nah, they basically just make it like the Pogo method of catching Pokemon in the Kanto region.
Yeah, I've heard people talk derisively online about Let's Go catching.
Yeah, and people are rightfully so nervous about that same mechanism being implemented
Yep.
in BD and SP.
I have heard those concerns, and yeah,
What about Breath of Arceus?
Breath of Arceus is going to have a different mechanic anyway. It
Probably.
Oh, because
seems
Pokeballs weren't really a thing, I
Breath
guess.
of
at the
Arceus seems like it actually might be more like pogo catching, except you might actually have
craft
to
your own.
like the person in the game is throwing the actual ball, so it comes off a little more realistic. That's what I understood from the trailer, because I saw the guy like running around and actually throwing the ball, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's kind of like
Like third
But then
person.
they fought Pokemon later on in the trailer.
they did. So I'm a little confused about like when you just randomly throw a ball at a crossing Squovit versus when you actually have to battle it first or whatever.
It's like in Sword and Shield, you just run into the Pokemon and it starts the battle.
Yeah.
And then you can still select what you want to do and like, I want to throw this ball. So if that's different. I hope that they don't implement
I
Pogo.
wonder if it kind of has like a hybrid of the typical standard battle and catching method or the Safari Zone method, where it's like you would have the option to like decide to if you want to try and battle it or if you want to try and like catch it without a Pokemon or anything.
There's some bait
Yeah.
rocks.
Honestly,
Because a lot of the trailer did feature like the trainer sneaking up on the Pokemon
yeah.
to capture it. So it could be like, do you want to use your Pokemon, yes or no? If not, you have to do like a sneak and catch.
I would say the thing that would disappoint me about that is that catching Pokemon for me is like one of the most, at least when you're at a certain level and trying to catch certain Pokemon, it's like one of the most careful, like, strategic moments in the games. As to, like, you have to think about what you're doing. Having strong Pokemon actually works against you if you're trying to catch, like, low-level stuff. Like, it kind of inverts a lot of the traditional rules, because if you go for the move that would normally be, like, super effective and, like, double damage and KO, like, then you don't get to catch the thing you were trying to catch. Whereas if you intentionally shift to moves you know aren't going to work as well, like, that can actually be... I don't know, I really like those moments of trying to catch Pokemon in games using the classic, like, style, and I hope they don't get rid of that.
They better not.
Like you just run around throwing Pokeballs at everything and you're like, something will catch.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because there is something about, like, Pokemon Go, I think, has done a good job of, like, creating a satisfying... Like, if you catch something in Pokemon Go, it does feel satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's probably... It tends to feel a little less bad to me when things get away in Pogo. Because I'm like, oh well. It was kind of, like, it's kind of RNG or whatever. Whereas, like, in the main games, if you feint out a Pokemon, you screwed up. Like, it was your fault. You didn't do it right. And there's something kind of, like, cool about the game being willing to offer you that feedback.
They can't just keep throwing Pokeballs
Right.
Also, that like the attacks actually do something, because in Pokemon Go, the attacks are just all they do is just like brush off the Pokeball that you throw on them.
Yeah.
But if you like just keep getting hit by Pokemon in like the main series games, then like you could potentially faint if you're not careful.
All
Get
bringing back
KO'd.
memories of how many Ultra Balls you threw at Articuno.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Well, but there's also like cases like when I was fighting. I don't know if you guys watched through my whole like Groudon Kyogre thing, but there are cases where if you're fighting certain Pokemon, like they'll start using takedown and struggle and stuff and figure
Yeah.
themselves out, and that's a whole other kind of like
Yeah.
yeah.
It's actually somewhat helpful at points when I was doing the Nuzlocke.
Mm-hmm.
Was like going out onto the ocean and like leveling up a whole bunch of stuff and getting to the point where it's like, all right, I'm out of like PP on every single move, but I still know like struggle, and that's a really strong move. It just does like some damage, so it's like figuring out the fine line of how long can I actually like go without
Yeah.
Like,
Without your moves.
healing, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's somewhat
folks,
related.
I may have to draw towards a close. I need to check on my dog.
That's fair.
Any closing comments about our experiences with Gen 5 so far?
This game's going by a lot faster than Diamond, Pro, and Platinum for me.
I think
I got
agree
3
with that.
gym badges, and I've only had 4.5 hours of playtime.
I only have 1 badge, but it feels like it's moving at a faster clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gen 3, I feel like, or Gen 4, I feel like it took like 12 or 13 hours of playtime before I got the 3rd badge.
Well, even
Because
number
there's
Gen,
so much-
bad game. Odd number Gen, good game.
Oh, did you not like Pearl?
I liked it. I think compared to Gen 3, I like compared to Emerald, which I know is unfair. I didn't think Pearl was as good.
That's fair.
I thought that I think my biggest thing was that the villain it's Cyrus, right? The bad guy in Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that felt not fleshed out in the same way that the Magma Aqua conflict had been. And that he kind of just like Galactic escalated very quickly from like this Rocket-esque we're going around stealing Pokemon and stuff to like, okay, wait, suddenly we're like gonna destroy the whole universe and create a new universe. I don't know. It was a jump for me.
It had these elements of like there were so many people within the organization that had no idea what was actually happening.
That's true.
I think that's the other piece of it that plays into like the Gen 4 lack of development, is that like every other grunt that you run into on Team Galactic is like, I don't know what's going on. My only job here is to stall you. And only like 2 or 3 people within the circle actually knew what the plan was.
And even they didn't really know what the plan was.
Yeah, even like the scientists, when you get to the part where you do have to free the Lake Trio, some of them were just kind of like, dude, I don't even like this. Like, I don't even realize, I don't think I understand what I've just done, and I'm like really uncomfortable with it.
The guy in the guard in Iron Man 3 who just gives up, honestly, I hate working here. These guys are so weird.
Yeah, basically. That's what a couple of them felt like.
I would argue the opposite, and I know that like in you saying that Pearl and Diamond weren't as fleshed out as something like Emerald, and like fleshing out Aqua and Magma, I never got the sense that there was like a really important storyline behind Sapphire, because it was kind of just like, yep, wandering around fighting Team Aqua. Yep, all right, that's done. Now let's get on with the game. But in Platinum, like, there was a whole scene that I think was cut from your guys's where Cyrus gives a whole speech to like every single grunt in
Hmm.
the headquarters.
Yeah, it was gone. You commented on mine, and you were just like, "Where's the
Yeah, where was
speech?"
the speech? And it's just like,
Yeah.
for you guys, you just go to his office and he's just like, "Oh, well, you made it here. You got some spunk. Now I'm gonna battle you and then leave." But
Mhm.
in Platinum, he's like, "I know that you were there. Like, obviously you were listening to it, and like all of that, all lies. Like, they have no idea what I actually have in store. Like, I plan on doing this, and like these are my reasons for it." It's like, oh, he's really in depth.
Hmm.
So I think that Platinum filled in a lot of those holes.
Seems like they
I will
do.
say, the spear pillar is way cooler than the sky pillar or sky
Yes.
tower, whatever it's called, with Rayquaza.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's way cooler. Music, area, whatever it is, it has its own music.
Graphics.
Sky pillar didn't even have that.
Graphics. The graphics.
Graphics are
Spirit.
ridiculously
When
cool.
the Pokemon come out of the dimensions and it just like affects the entire sky.
And you can see like the little snapshots of like the overview of the towns
Yep.
and like how the skies change. It's so
That
Yeah.
was cool. That
Yeah.
was undeniably cool.
mm-hmm.
I think the fact that Emerald gives you a bit more in the what like Emerald gives you a cutscene with like Groudon and Kyogre fighting and like Rayquaza coming down and actually stopping
Yeah.
that and like I mean, I think Nintendo and Game Freak do play the game a little bit where they like test some stuff out in the first two games and then see what they need to tweak
Mm-hmm.
and flesh out in the third game, and that's definitely been part of the last two generations.
Yep.
Because Sapphire
Because-
and Ruby are kind of the incomplete story that then gets like woven together much better in Emerald. And I think the same thing is going on in Platinum. Like you have these, you know, this idea of, oh, the guards don't know what's going on, and like Cyrus has his own plan, and then they bring it together in a scene like that in Platinum, and then like put the icing on the cake with the whole, what is it?
Distortion
Like,
Mob.
yeah,
The distortion world, yeah.
Because every conversation you have with Cyrus from the minute you enter into the distortion world from there is him like is what I guess like his psyche like going in waves of like, what is this? What am I doing? All of these, like, was I wrong? No, I'm right. What are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
But like very fleshed out. And then doesn't he stay in the distortion world? He's like, this is my new world.
I think so.
Like,
Yeah. It's
all right.
amazing. Like, yeah.
And then they call back to that in Sunny Shore, I think it is, where like the old woman's like, there was a kid here named Cyrus. He was really bright. I wonder what happened to him.
He was like a
What?
little loner, and he was always like fiddling around with his machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder whatever happened to him.
I talked to that later. I was just like, oh, bye.
Yeah, we ran into that old woman in Diamond and Pearl as well, because I talked to her and I was like, well,
Because he kind of just, what, disappears in Pearl and Diamond?
Does
Yeah.
It's only in Giratina only appears in Platinum,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. We
Right.
we kind of just beat him in
and he goes away.
DP and he's gone.
Which, yeah, similar to like the two team leaders in Sapphire and Ruby.
Yeah.
They like reconcile with each other, and then they're like, okay, let's like go hold hands and like walk off into the distance, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aqua and
But yeah,
Magua
Gen
teamed
5
up to make Hawaii.
Gen 5's gonna be interesting, I think.
It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to Gen 5. I'm looking forward to Gen 6 as well.
Said no one ever, right?
There's like
I'm looking forward to it.
I
we'll
have
have
no
to make
idea.
our own decisions.
I don't know what Pokemon are in Gen 6
I don't either.
at
I
all.
never know.
Froakie?
You guys to know this. I never know.
Fennekin,
Oh,
Chespin.
wait, what is Gen 6? What region is that?
Kalos.
Kalos. Yeah,
Hmm.
I barely know anything about Kalos.
They're still releasing Kalos Pokemon, I think, in Pokemon Go, so that's possibly why.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's Sunday update. We'll be back to you guys with a couple more streams this week. I know I'm not on tomorrow. I know I'm not on Tuesday. I'm going to try to hop on Wednesday or Thursday morning to get back into Innova.
Hmm. This is great. Like, I love the town theme so far. The 3D of Castelia, how they like really got into it. There's so much more to come.
Just final note that I just remembered. I finally realized why the Unova Stone in Pokemon Go is the way that it is. It's black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We'll have some streams out for you guys this week. I'm not sure when yet, but you know, I highly suggest subscribing so that your YouTube app or whatever will just tell you when we're live, as it tells me when we're live, because I never know and I just watch people when they come out.
We'll get better. We promise.
We'll get better. I'll post some stuff on Twitter. I'll try to put some stuff in the Discord, but until then, just watch them as they come, because yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give you guys the BRB screen, and we'll call it a night.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Adieu,
y'all.
folks.